Fortnite has had its fair share of absolutely wasted characters. Like, let's be honest, it's most of them. And if you ask people what their favorite wasted character is, many people might say something like the Herald, the Nothing, Geno, the Sisters, the Foundation, the Visitor, the Origin, Fight, Valeria, and Raz, you know, most of the storyline characters. But today I have a Fortnite character that I believe to be one of the best characters in Fortnite history who had so much potential to really leave a permanent mark on the game, but was wasted by Epic Games. If you enjoyed today's video, then consider subscribing and using code BigCraigd in the Fortnite item shop because I am poor. First, let's define what I believe a wasted character to be. I believe that a wasted character is a character who was not used enough to warrant their removal from the storyline. These are characters that only really appeared for a season or two, like the Origin or Valeria. But I also believe that a wasted character is someone who did not have a satisfying enough conclusion to their part of the storyline. This would be the Herald, the Foundation, and Scientist. There are only a handful of characters in Fortnite that I believe to have not been wasted in some way. The first one that comes to my head is obviously Agent Jones. Agent Jones has appeared in 13 cinematics, 5 live events, has had 4 storyline skins, appeared in 5 comic issues, and has appeared or been referenced in 16 separate seasons of Battle Royale. There is absolutely no way that anyone can claim that he is a wasted character. No matter what happens to him, he was utilized well. Actually, no, it turns out I'm a big fat stupid idiot liar who deserves death. Agent Jones was used well in the past and is currently being used to an acceptable degree in the storyline right now. But do you know when he wasn't used properly in the storyline? In this little section here. Chapter 3 Season 4 to Chapter 4 Season OG, Agent Jones had what I consider to be one of the worst runs in Fortnite history. During Chapter 3 Season 4, Agent Jones literally just disappeared. One week he was like the main character in the storyline quest, and the next we didn't hear from him for an entire year. He wasn't seen, mentioned, or even referenced from the final set of Chapter 3 story quest until the end of Chapter 4 Season 3, and even then it was barely nothing. Does anyone actually have a proper explanation as to where he was for like a year? Does anyone even know? I swear there was like an NPC description of him during Chapter 4 Season 3, and the only explanation was like, he's back. No, Fortnite. Why was he gone? Dr. Sloan is another character who was used relatively effectively. Some might claim that she's a wasted character given her apparent ending in Fortnite OG, but given everything, she had a solid run. You know, even though her story got messed up with the whole underneath the island, but it's the wrong island thing. That was weird. Don't do that again. Hope has been used decently well so far, despite what everyone else will tell you, apparently. But at the moment, she feels more like a vehicle for other characters to have storylines. Like, her and Jones are the reason we went to Chapter 6, and is the reason why we have the Mask Maker storyline right now. At the moment, she feels like a tour guide. That's what she is at the moment. I have a little more faith in the newer storyline characters, particularly from Chapter 6, especially Daigo. Daigo so far has been utilized very well, and given how the special end of season cutscene went last season, I'd say that Daigo is going to continue to be used throughout the chapter, and by the looks of it, they're going to use him well. So those are some examples of characters that were used well. Now let's get back to the average character. Each member of the 7 all killed, chromed, or whatever you want to call it. 3 on screen, 3 off screen, and 1 just straight up disappeared for absolutely no reason at all. Geno, Fortnite's main villain at the time, was hinted to be getting revealed during the Collision live event. Jones and the Foundation jumped through the 0 point to find him, and we get a stinger at the end of the event to show us that, yeah, we're going to hear about this storyline again. So we waited the entirety of Chapter 3 Season 3, wondering what was going to happen, when Jones and the Foundation were going to come back. And oh my god, it turns out that they watched Geno die in a comic book and they came straight back. They weren't even gone for like 5 minutes. Oh, and by the way, the Foundation died off screen. What? So what exactly was the point in this? This didn't even happen in the comic. What was this referencing? And you're telling me that we thought that the Foundation was off looking for Geno with Jones. He was on the island the entire time, and not only that, he died off screen during that same period of time. Are you serious? The Imagined also killed in a comic book. However, in the following season, Paradigm was confused when she couldn't find the Imagined. So confused, in fact, that she sent us on a mission to find her. Did nobody tell Paradigm that the Imagined had been dead for like 2 months? Oh, and Geno came back to life like 5 pages after he died and is still alive to this day, and yet we haven't seen or heard from him since that day. The Nothing, the one who was seemingly going to take Geno's place as Fortnite's big bad, was seen in some quests and then disappeared and was never seen again. The Shapeless Man, a character hinted at throughout the entirety of Chapter 4 Season 1 and who many thought to be the Wanderer before it was revealed that it was Doom. So who exactly was the Shapeless Man and why has it been 2 years and we still have no idea? Rift Warden Stellan, given some lore, left us with unanswered questions, never seen again. The Ancient Civilization underneath the Chapter 4 map that was obviously supposed to be the Chapter 3 map, given some lore, never seen again. Valeria, Hope's sister, who is an affinity to magic, whose lineage apparently descends from Greek gods, never seen again. The Herald, Suicide Bomber, the Cube Queen, showed up and died. The Ice King presumably killed himself straight after getting some lore. Singularity, very clearly supposed to be Paradigm, but was obviously cancelled at the last second because Donamos' storyline needed to end. The fact that the last reality had spies on the island in Chapter 4 and still haven't been seen or referenced since that day. Kato Thor being killed off screen in a random questline before he did anything. And here we have my personal favourite wasted character of all time. Megalodon. Quite possibly one of the most beloved storyline characters in recent memory, but before we get to that, a quick recap on his lore and why he was a wasted character. Megalodon, Lord of the Wasteland and self-proclaimed fertile machine, was the main villain for Chapter 5 Season 3 and was addicted to nitro, arrived on the island from a separate island on his Leviathan along with his gang of Wastelanders. They terrorized the island for a few months while the machinist worked on fueling the Leviathan ready for Megalodon to destroy the island with it. During this time, Megalodon made an unknown deal with the Wanderer, who later turned out to be Doom. Just before Megalodon fueled his ship enough to destroy the island, Doom hacked the pipes, which caused an explosion all throughout the pipeline, all the way to the refinery, which also exploded, which revealed the source of the nitro, which was Pandora's box. Megalodon rushed to confront the machinist to find out what happened, and then was never seen again. Yeah, that's it. That's the end. Megalodon disappeared after that loading screen was released and was only referenced again one more time in Chapter 5 Season 4, where someone said that Doom got rid of Megalodon. So that boy's dead. But what an unsatisfying conclusion to the character that, despite only being around for a singular season, is still loved by tons of people, myself included. Some people might say that he served his purpose and he wasn't wasted at all. He was meant to be a singular season villain, and that's what he was. And I mean, I guess, but it leaves so many more questions than answers. For example, why did Megalodon and Gunner look a little bit too similar for it to be a coincidence? How did Megalodon know who Jones was? Was Megalodon dependent on the nitro, or was it just an addiction? What deal did he make with Doom? Why did Megalodon have Chaos Agent, a former member of the Imagined Order? And most importantly, what day was Megalodon's birthday? And while it is a shame that Megalodon was killed off before we got any answers, it kind of doesn't ruin the character. There are so many characters in Fortnite that were just ruined by randomly being removed from the storyline without proper conclusion or explanation, but I don't think Megalodon is one of them. My favorite Fortnite theory of all time is that Megalodon and Gunner were the same person. I know there are so many people that hate this theory or don't believe it's true, but there are too many coincidences for it to be an accident in my opinion. First of all, I mean, just look at them. Similar hair, similar body shape, similar armor. The Nitro Fists were an item throughout the entirety of Chapter 5 Season 3, clearly modeled after Megalodon's armored fists, and if you look at Gunner, he also had powered armor fists that he used in combat. And for those that don't know, in the end of the Zero War comic line, Doom shot and presumably killed Gunner during the collision event before fleeing the island. Gunner was not seen or referenced again. What if Gunner was rescued by someone and was kept alive with Nitro? Maybe he developed such a hatred towards the Imagined Order because of what happened to him as a result of blindly trusting them that he kind of made it his mission to track down every member of the Imagined Order and do whatever he wanted to them. It would explain why Chaos Agent, who again used to be part of the Imagined Order, was on the boat with them, seemingly unwillingly. It would explain how Megalodon knew who Jones was, but I hear you right now.
Craig, if Gunner was shot by Doom, why would he willingly team up with him?
Well, that's the part that kind of cements this theory as plausible to me. Megalodon never saw the Wanderer's face. In some unreleased voice lines, he said that he had no idea what the Wanderer even looked like, which explains why he would even team up with him in the first place. And once again, it was his blind trust that got him killed by the same person as last time. And after all that, we still don't know when his birthday is. See, look how much we can talk about Megalodon based off of a single season's worth of content. This character has so much content to it. And whether you believe the Gunner is Megalodon theory or not is irrelevant, because, I mean, it's canon either way. I don't believe that they did anything to directly tell us that it was the same person or not. There aren't really any holes in the theory that they are the same person, and being the same person doesn't really change anything, because he's dead. It's kind of irrelevant now. And that's why I don't think Megalodon was really a wasted character, because he has so much content and discussion surrounding him that him being around more might have just taken away from his personality and the discussion around him. Also, his personality. I'm 100% certain that he has the most personality out of any Fortnite villain we've had so far by a mile. He can be weird and funny and intimidating, it's great. That's also why I think voice lines need to come back as soon as possible. I know there's like a strike going on right now, but they need to come back, because they add so much character to the character, then it makes them memorable for players. I will admit, ever since Chapter 5, Fortnite has gotten a lot better at getting rid of characters, even if they aren't explored to their full potential. Like Valeria is still on the Chapter 5 island and isn't accepting Hope's call, Zeus and the rest of the gods are left, Megalodon died and Doom was banished, Hope carried forward to Chapter 6, Fletcher Kane died. At the very least, we kind of know what happened to these characters. Unlike Paradigm, who just disappeared day 1 of Chapter 4 and was never seen again. Oh my god, Amy too, she left to find the scientist a while ago. Oh my god, it's almost been 3 years. Well, that's it from me. If you enjoyed today's video, then there'll be a funny card on the screen taking you to a video like this one, but better. Also, subscribing and using code TheBigCraigd will make me not poor, which I would appreciate quite a lot. Okay, bye.